Welcome to the Intercourse Show. I am your host, Mr. B. Today we have a very exciting show for you. We are talking celebrity news, I guess you could say. I'm trying to figure out how I would characterize this because this is not exactly a topic that I touch upon much, but it's celebrity news, I guess you could say. Apparently, there's a feud going on between T.I. and 50 Cent. The feud stems from these versus battles that was created by Swiss Beats some years ago, where T.I. wanted to put his catalog of music against 50 Cent's catalog of music. For whatever reason, 50 Cent never decided that he wanted to do that, maybe because he felt like it wasn't a fair comparison, that T.I. wasn't on his level. There was some bickering that went back and forth years ago, and as a result, the two never actually did the battle. Unfortunately, T.I. took it personal and would make comments and challenge 50 Cent openly. And 50 Cent eventually started trolling T.I. by posting different things online. And as a result, the two men just kind of threw jabs at each other over the years. Most recently, 50 Cent has been in the news because he's kind of a professional troller at this point. And I think it's a way that he uses to market his various ventures that he's got going on. He owns GU Studios, and he does a number of different things. Most recent, he did a whole documentary on the Diddy trial and attack, that kind of took aim at Diddy, who he had some quarrels with because of his, child's mother. The two men had her in common. And so there's been a lot of attacks on 50 Cent. So T.I. reemerged and weighed in. When that happened, 50 Cent continued to troll, and he started making fun of, I guess, T.I.'s wife, at which point now T.I.'s kids started making diss tracks to address 50 Cent. And as a result, T.I. made a diss track to address 50 Cent. The two went back and forth. 50 Cent recently released a diss track. And it seems as if the whole matter has gotten very personal. And the reason I'm making this is because we want to have a discussion around just mature disagreements and whether or not the internet's the best source to disagree with one another, especially as grown men. And what image does this send about the Black community and how we handle our conflicts? I think this is one of those things that doesn't necessarily paint us in the right light. We're constantly trying to find reasons to fight with each other about minuscule things. And it just creates into things that could potentially become dangerous, where whether, somebody's making fun of someone's wife, now the kids get involved, now the kids are a part of the target list. There becomes no sort of bar or no line that people can't cross. They continue to cross the lines. So when that happens, does that come to a point of no return? And as you know, in these rap beefs, people end up getting hurt. I don't necessarily want to see that happen, not in the case. But given this backdrop that I just shared with you guys, apparently Charleston White, who's a guy who's made a living out of kind of trolling and going online. I think his official title was he was a community activist who's done some work, but he's a very entertaining guy, very funny, but also intelligent. And he weighed in on it. And when he weighed in on it, he made some pretty controversial comments about the conflict between the two men. And, I thought I'd share it just to see if we can extract some lessons and kind of react to what was said in the clip. All right, so with that backdrop, let's jump into Charleston White's recent interview addressing the feud between T.I. and 50 Cent.
So I've heard you say over and over that you said before growing up that T.I. was your favorite artist.
Oh yeah.
But I've noticed you've been mashing the gas on T.I. So what's going on?
I don't like Tip. Yeah, see, T.I. was my nigga. Tipping, tapping toe, tippy toe. Tippy told the strange once he started doing them ecstasy pills and things. But yeah, nigga, Rubber Band Man had cock to the side, Tip. I eat your cookie, Tip. Yeah. He was with them 7 convicted fellas. TIP with the gun charges. Him and T.I. ain't the same person. T.I. made an album separating T.I. from TIP. TIP is the snitch, Tippy. Tippy is the snitch. T.I. is the thoroughbred street that was decaying at one point in time. You can't, no. But I ain't, nigga, T.I. tried to economically castrate me. That nigga tried to economically castrate me and ban me down. He tried to have me banned to poverty with the police. Well, the king tried to have me banned where I live in poverty with police forever. So you think I ain't got a problem with that? He tried to kill my legacy. For me to see my son's smart. I ain't make no autistic baby like King that needs special care and services.
Okay, so I guess we now have a little bit of a backdrop, some reason as to why Charleston White is doing this. He's weighing in. And I'll just interrupt the video a little bit just to kind of weigh in. I was not aware that apparently T.I. has taken measures against this man to, I guess, stop his money or to get him in trouble with the law. Now, Charleston White's whole background is that he's a snitch. That's how he came into the spotlight. He was the guy who said it was cool to snitch on celebrities who's doing the wrong thing. And he built sort of a following as a result of that. That led into him doing stand-up. And now he's at a point where he's a household name, and he gets a lot of interviews, and he weighs in on a lot of different things, from politics to current events to rap feuds to beefs to celebrity boxing matches. So he's kind of done all these things, and I think it speaks to his brand. He's one of those guys that I think has a personality shift whenever the cameras turn on. And I think he does it for entertainment. So it is quite possible that some of his comments are just for entertainment purposes and they're not to be taken serious. But it's also possible that some of the things he says are serious. And as you see, he's already started jumping in to kind of attack, T.I.'s kids, which I personally don't condone. I just feel like there's a low bar when you start talking about people's kids. It's one of those things that's kind of, you don't touch. And apparently this feud got bad to the point where people are talking about kids and dead parents and dead siblings. And it gets extremely sticky. And even talking about, potentially executing people. So it's like not exactly, to me, a good representation of men that look like me and him, and I just don't know that this is the right example that we want to show, our children in terms of how we handle disagreements with each other by coming online and mischaracterizing each other. But in order for me to prove that point or to make this point that I'm making, I have to play the full clip. So we'll go ahead and let it play, and then we'll react accordingly.
My boy gonna take over the throne. King can't take over the throne. The money is another woman's baby. The money is, see, these niggas is born, these is out of wedlock babies. I ain't got an out of wedlock baby. I ain't got a bastard. King is a bastard boy. Tippy, Tippy tried to economically castrate me because his sons hit Tootie and them threatening to jump on me. Yeah. I responded to the assault. Said, nigga, you ain't never jump on an old nigga that'll kill you. Trayvon Martin, so he got mad at me. I'm a real life George Zimmerman. I start something with you, let you get on top of me so I can shoot you. That's what George did to Trayvon. I'm clever like that.
Come on.
do what the police say not do, but still get you and make it look like, yeah, nigga, I can do that. And I'm proud to say I'm like that. Don't you sit up all day long and ask for locations? Y'all George Zimmermans too. What's your low? Yeah, the way King is talking about that boy's mama. T.I. can't be a daddy that raised him. King don't listen to T.I. We seen that video when he told him, yeah, I know you. Y'all remember that video? Yeah. My son ain't never talked to me like that. Remember King was in there smoking that cigarette with the blunt in the way, his daddy coming up to his mama coming up. See how disrespectful he was? T.I. is lying. He knew them boy made that song. He helped them write it. He lying. Ain't no got into no beef with no. And if I get into it with a man outside the house, I ain't finna go rally my boys unless we finna die together. I ain't rallying my boys to go put Carmex on their lips so lips don't get dry on the microphone. All them guns I had, one of my boys finna be sent to die. No. If them were my two boys and me and 50, I'm sending one of my boys to die. Probably King. He better off be sacrificed into money. I'll send King off to crash out. If I would tip, I'll make him my crash dummy. Like you do your young in the game, that'll be my crash dummy boy. It's just like in the game. Don't you send somebody off to crash out you say you love? And if he don't do it, the money and them girls will jump on him. Give him a Harris DP.
Damn. Harris DP.
You think they want the DP the boy at that thing when he was showing out? That's why they sent King over there to be raided with the white woman. They want that little unruly, devilish. Yeah, he was a crybaby too. He was spoiled.
Yeah.
When he get tough, that rejection from his father made him tough. When he stood up to his daddy that day and told his daddy, "Oh, nigga, I know you. I know. I've been hearing y'all in them rooms. Y'all think he was a no. He heard them having them threesomes and thing with China. Remember, Rob Kardashian said T.I. and remember he said on that show that T.I. and Tiny was China when she was underage. That's why he was beefing with T.I. So that's all I'm saying. You can't be what you claim to be in the hell of a with this over your head, Tippy. Tapping toe tip.
Him being a snitch ain't that?
Ain't got nothing to do with that. Boy got a long, big toe he put in the girl.
God.
Say boy toe long like this here. Say boy got a wide big toe. He tapping, they on them XPs, she sleep. He toe tapping through the room, tapping him motherfucking pussy, toe on the motherfucking pussy trying to get away. That what the police report said. I promise I read it. I read the motherfucker. I said, who that boy freaking? And she down there acting like she ain't stimulated by it. But yeah, he got her though. This ain't no funny matter. The promise is because I personally know one of the victims. Yeah, I personally know one of the victims, homie, that's been adamant about these allegations for at least a decade or longer. So yeah.
Charles, 50 Cent going after the wifey. Is there anything off limits?
No. Drive-by shooter don't leave nothing off limits, do it? When that nigga little baby said, spin the block and then spin the block again. When they spin the block again, mama gotta lay down, the wife gotta, everybody lay down in the house when they pop, they shoot that mama. So what you mean is the wife is off limits? When you owe the cartel, they go in there and kill your kids and your wife. When you owe the mafia, they blow up the whole building. So when the wife start being off limits? If I can't whoop you, I'll whoop your wife. Yeah, I avoid fighting you to fight somebody weaker than you and your family. Yeah, everybody do that. It's called tactics. It's called tactics, nigga. So no, nigga, hell no. If I don't like you, I don't like your ugly ass boy. That ugly ass boy look just like his old punk ass daddy. Look at that boy lips. Man, boy got some fat ass lips on his mouth. Man, boy put a little pink in him. Make you want to tap across that slit.
He came at you one time. He said, man, why you involving a child? Come at the daddy, he said. And then I think there was a diss track made.
Yeah. I was talking to the fathers. while I was addressing the sons, while I was talking to the fathers. And while I was talking to the fathers, the sons came in talking to me while I was addressing the fathers. So I started addressing the sons about their fathers. So now, this is where I like to show the black community that when it comes to y'all gods, when it comes to y'all many gods, meaning y'all celebrities, y'all idols, y'all give them a pass. T.I. has over 20 rape allegations against him. Big Meech had one snitch allegation against him and y'all ran with it. Yeah. T.I. got over 20 documented, prosecute reports.
That's wild.
So I'm saying, okay, man, he talk about dead people. Now, all of a sudden, y'all was just on 50 Cent's side when he was trying to bring Diddy down. And by the way, Diddy was found not guilty on mostly everything he was accused of. Not guilty. But y'all still hollering, y'all, he needs to be locked up. T.I. and Taylor need to be locked up if you go read these reports. They were sexual predators amongst young girls, nigga. Feeding them ecstasy. Drugging them. He was cool with Diddy. All these niggas, they used to party with Diddy. He's never came out and spoken against Diddy.
Come on.
That's all I'm saying, nigga.
Hey.
So I'm saying, okay. I get all the backlash in the world, and I love it for speaking on dead people. I don't give a fuck about T.I. dead sister that died in the car wreck. I was hoping 50 would bring her up, Precious, and run her through the Rimmer Mill. But rather than me disrespecting them, I just went and reminded everybody, T.I. got a dead family member he loves so dearly. I'm just waiting on one of them to say my name. I'll make T.I. send King on a kamikaze mission to come get me, and I'll kill him. Because I know they'll send him. I'm just waiting on one of them to say, I'm waiting for 50 to tag me in. I'm going to go on a smear campaign on that sister. I'll have Atlanta wanting to ban me because I want to show them the hypocrisy. Yeah. I want to show them the hypocrisy. So nobody's mad at King for talking about 50 Cent's mother? Yeah. Nobody? No, they were so mad at me now. So all of a sudden they mad. Y'all go see this later. I gave y'all too much too long. Terrence Gangster Williams, y'all make sure y'all tune in. So listen to me. So everybody cool with this. Everybody, oh, he got 50. 50 have been beat. Oh, so now it's okay to talk about dead people.
Yeah.
Now it's okay to talk about dead people. Well, he was defending his mother, but it's okay to talk about dead people, right?
Okay, I'm away in. This is where I believe the rhetoric has gotten too much. Obviously, you heard what he said about potentially, executing one of T.I.'s kids if he says certain things to trigger that type of thing. I don't know why that makes any sense to talk like that. You know what I mean? The feds watch these streams. You know what I'm saying? So why would anybody incriminate themselves like that by saying stuff out loud as if you were premeditating this act? That don't make no sense on Charleston White's point. I know a lot of what he does is about entertainment, but I do think there's a line you can't cross, and eventually it would not be a good look if you found yourself in a situation where this was being played at your trial. So I pray he was just talking for entertainment purposes and he didn't mean what he's saying. But this does bring me to a point of talking about the appropriateness of certain topics. T.I.'s kids getting involved in the little beef and problems between 50 Cent and T.I., I do think was a line crossed. Then again, those young men are of age, so they're not coming in per se as kids. But I do believe that there has to be a line crossed where either T.I. tells his children to stay out of it so that they don't become casualties of this little dispute. But once that line gets crossed and now certain things is being said about their mother, now these kids in defense of their mother is now saying certain things, hurtful things about this guy's dead mother, 50 Cent's dead mother. For those who don't know, 50 Cent's mother passed when he was young. So he was raised by his grandparents, I believe. And now Charleston White is volunteering information on T.I.'s dead sister. To me, I feel like we've reached such a low bar where now we're talking about dead people, and it's a valid point that he's raising. Since when did it become okay to start talking about dead people in these little rap feuds and things of that nature? I just think that this is an extremely low bar on both sides. You know, we taking shots at kids and people's wives and dead people and all these different things. I just feel like we are crossing a line that's uncalled for, because, you know, people say stick and stones may hurt my feelings, but words will never hurt me. Something like that. I think that's how the saying goes. But words do hurt, and people do take things personal. And I think a lot of these guys have a lot of time, and, you know, they pay attention to what's being said online, and these things circulate, and it goes viral, and now everybody's talking about it. And so there's a part of the human element, I would think, where these guys feel embarrassed that their loved ones, their family members are being talked to a certain way by random people. And I think at some point it causes people to question, you know, like what's real and what's not real, you know. And this takes us back into the whole clickbaiting thing. I think for clicks, people are willing to cross lines, say hurtful things, you know, even being decent for the sake of drawing a crowd and an audience. And to me, that's where the challenge lies, is that a lot of people don't know where to draw the line when it comes to these little disputes. And so now you have Charleston White almost kind of pouring fuel to the fire to further escalate this matter. This man tends to draw a lot of attention, a lot of eyeballs when he does interviews. I mean, I think that's how he makes a good portion of his money, aside from the stand-up comedy stuff that he does. But I think this gets to a very, very dangerous area where we're talking about people's dead sisters and children, and no one's really actually pumping the brakes and saying, hey, guys, we need to relax. Like, whatever the disputes are, let's talk about it behind the scenes. Let's not continue to let this escalate like this. The one thing I would say is we do have to draw a connection. A lot of people outside of our community don't necessarily fight openly like this. You wouldn't see Sam Altman and Elon Musk get this personal in the ways that they fight. Now, those guys have disagreed about various things, you know what I mean? Like with regards to business and the whole AI thing. But I've never heard them attack each other's mothers and attack each other's kids and, you know, say some of these crazy things online. And I just think that we do got to tone things down a little bit, because, you know, there is a high probability someone can potentially get hurt behind these words is being said online. Let me let him finish his comments.
No matter what. And y'all clapping for it. You see why I say black people love you only to hate you? They've been waiting to hate 50 because black people are satisfied when you're losing. They are satisfied. Oh, somebody finally finna get 50. Y'all was just saying he was the greatest troll. Can't nobody. Now, just that quick. He a bully, he is? Because it's your favorite celebrity now.
It's tiny. It's Escape, man.
Fuck Tiny. That is a freak. Now, her King Harris told me the Senate mad about his baby mama being in his daddy's video. Yo, Floyd Mayweather, your daddy's, your mama and her friend, Kanisha. Your daddy went up there and took a swung and didn't hit nothing and still ain't redeemed himself. I realized, boy, you was a baby when your mama was loose like your lips. Boy, your mama put her wet and loose like them big old pink lips of yours. Hey, stay wet. You must forgot. Wait, he was a baby though. He don't know no baby. The baby.
Hold on, wait. T.I. made a diss track. King made a diss track. Damani and the little girl start singing this song.
Listen. I was hoping 50 say that little bitch. That's how you throw a jacket in. Man, tell little bitch going nowhere like a mama. Say, listen, but I would have said that. But I would have said, man, tell little bitch. I would have had the world mad at me. I would have been mean and that little girl sang about my mom. Bitch, your mom. I would have had that little girl mad. I would have had the words of, man, let's ban that boy. He wrong. You don't put kids in wrong for business. You don't put kids in. I don't give a damn. No man does what he does with his family. Involve my family to protect the women. I'm the protector, not you, boy. Yeah. See, that's why I love John. That's why I love John Brown. John Brown got his boys, and they went and started a war against the slavery owners. Yeah, he took his boys for a meaningful cause.
Yeah, y'all do y'all research.
That boy's running to the booth with pretty lips, talking to a microphone. I don't know how intimidating that could be.
You know, it's crazy because 50 just dropped the Power theme song where he's dissing T.I. again in the theme song. Is that the win where everyone's gonna watch this show for seasons? Where the theme song you dissing your op, like they gonna be chanting it? Is that really the win at the end?
Well, once the documentary is.
Ooh.
See, nobody really covered T.I. and Tiny's sexual escapades. Do you know? That's how Tasha K got R. Kelly arrested.
Come on.
Going back, digging up them files.
Come on.
I just want to say, I reached out to one of the victims. I now know of two victims. One of the victims texted me, said, hey, I was thinking about you the other day. I text her when I saw 50 Cent was coming out with the documentary. I said, your day of reckoning is here. She said, hey, man, I was thinking about you. One of the other victims wants to talk to who should she sit down with? Thanks for always having my back. I said, yes, ma'am. I stay advocating on your behalf. See, I met her 5 years ago, homie, when I first came to the internet.
Damn.
So I had already knew about. So it's a reason why I attack certain people the way I attack certain people. T.I. Boosie. It's information that I know, the game. Nigga, it's information that I know. Credible, truthful, factual information.
Do you feel that toe is going to be in the documentary?
Who?
The toe.
Yeah, because she was like 16 at the time. That girl like 16, 17, and they did that too.
Yeah, that was wild to read.
Yeah, so now we don't read the report, so it's easy to see him as a knight in shining armor, family man. But nigga, he was abusive to his wife too. Remember they separated? King and he a baby, so he was a baby when this was happening. He was over there with his grandmama, so he was abandoned and neglected as a child. He didn't grow up in the household with him because he was acting like a white kid that they couldn't whoop. Taylor used to act like she didn't like him on TV. Didn't she?
Y'all remember? Y'all go back.
She used to act like she didn't like that little ugly motherfucker. And he was ugly. He just, nigga, until he got them veneers. Tell the truth, y'all. Boy had a platypus mouth. Like beak feet.
Hey, damn.
It's all right. He growing into a handsome little yellow. I mean, but he was a little rough and rocky road for the boy on the beginning. Boy, he's an ugly duckling. Look like he growing up to be a pretty swan.
Real quick, we went left very quick. We have to speak on.
We went left, nigga. You asked me a question. I go left. You asked me.
Shit, man.
Stop trying to make it like I done wrong.
Shit, the kids involved. Hey, he got a kid now too.
Who?
The little King. He a baby. He a baby dad.
He gonna be a better father than his daddy.
As you can see, even the interviewer was like, "You got the kids involved." We went way left. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of, you know what I mean, going in on somebody's kids online. To me, that's the part of it where it gets a little too dangerous to me. It's a little too sketchy. You know what I mean? But some people are making a career out of this. The clicks is very enticing, and so they will say whatever and do whatever. But he said a lot of things, man, that I think is pretty outrageous, to be honest. And a lot of times these dudes are kind of starting cases for a lot of these prosecutors out here. If you think about it, one allegation leads to someone being willing to platform someone who said something happened, and now public sentiment grows about what is alleged, and before you know it, someone's digging into it, more conversation grows around it, and next thing you know, that person's under investigation. It's almost like, we cannibalizing each other in a way. Now, I'm not condoning any kind of predatory behavior, whether it's celebrities or anybody else doing it, but again, for our community as a whole, I just think it's a bad look as a whole that we build each other up and then tear each other down. He said something about Tasha K and R. Kelly. I didn't know Tasha K played a part in R. Kelly's whole legal dramas that came, and now that man's potentially serving life in jail. You know what I'm saying? Again, not making excuses for these people's lifestyle choices. I'm not condoning anybody's inappropriate activities with whoever. I'm simply saying that one allegation, one gossip leads to another, and before you know it, somebody's doing a documentary. Before you know it, the federal government's investigating it. Before you know it, somebody gets hurt. I just don't know if that trend is healthy for our community as a whole, just to constantly be going at each other. Now, I know people have figured out ways to monetize these, gossipy type of news stories. And I think we're seeing that happen now. But, I thought it'd be important for us to, at least have a conversation about, these sort of beefs, if you will. It's almost like we're always known for some beef. And is it the right way for us to handle our conflicts? I think there's better ways for those two men to sit down and say, look, you know what I'm saying? Let's really not put our business on, online platform. Let's, whatever the discourse is between you and I, let's do this. Let's set some ground rules around what we are and not going to say. One thing you could see in terms of how white people do things a little differently, Candace Owens had a conflict with Ben Shapiro. He put a gag order on her. She couldn't talk about it. She could not talk about him or their company negatively in the public. So their conflict was left to people's speculation about what could be happening in the background. Still to this day, they can't get into details about the full breakdown of their business relationship. And I think white people fight things differently. They fight out differently. I don't know why these celebrities don't do that with each other. Put gag orders on each other to ensure that certain conversations, certain family members don't get brought up into a conversation so that incriminating things are not being said. Now, it's a little tougher when you're doing gag orders because you have to, I think, essentially put it on a person. And now once the thing's into, out into the mainstream, everybody can talk about it, including guys like Charleston and others. But to me, I just feel like, talking about people's dead relatives is just crazy to me. This was crazy when it came across my feed, and I was like, not that I like touching topics like this. This isn't generally the type of topics I typically discuss. I try to keep things a little more light, but this is sort of what's trending right now, and I'm just responding to it. But as a result, I think there's a bigger lesson that can be learned in terms of just sharing, like, why do we do that? Like, why is it that one person attacks the next person, and the next person attacks that person, and then kids jump in, and their side jumps in, and next thing you know, the beef is entertainment to a whole group of other people who really kind of look at us in a negative light. Like, look at how these people do each other. You know what I'm saying? It's, to me, there's a part about this, as entertaining as it may be to watch people bicker and fight and do all these different things. There's a part about it that's a little kind of like shameful that we're stooping to these levels, you know what I'm saying, for clicks or for whatever. You know what I mean? And, people's dirty laundry get put out, people's personal family business get put out. And it's just like that line between private life and public life gets crossed. This is where I gotta say, I give the Jay-Z's of the world some credit. Generally speaking, he doesn't do interviews. He doesn't talk about anything. People make allegations. He minds his business. He doesn't talk. I mean, that's a different principle that I think tends to work for you in terms of longevity and things of that nature. If you don't make no comments, you're not pouring fuel onto the fire. My pastor said something recently. He said, you're going to have critics that have things to say online or whatever. It's best not to respond, not to add fuel to the fire. Clearly, it's to the point where these guys aren't necessarily taking this advice, as they're both kind of going back and forth, making diss songs, trying to monetize the discourse. But I just think it gets to a dangerous level because, you're essentially attacking each other online for the whole world to see. So it's crazy. All right. Let's knock this one out.
Ooh. He a loving father.
Oh.
He gonna be way better father than daddy. I promise. I'm proud of the boy.
Okay.
He needs to say, listen, he ain't got time. He got a newborn baby. He ain't got enough time to be fighting his daddy's battles.
Yeah. We about to see where it is. The 50 Cent.
Can't none of them whoop 50.
Who would have won in the verses?
Versus what Punk's gonna do.
That's what started it, the music.
Oh,
they wanted to do a versus.
Who can win in a versus, nigga?
Right, yeah, we about to fight.
That don't make nothing, because you can sing better than me. You a snitch. So you can't compare to me. It was 50 saying. You a snitch that can't compare to me. And you a serial predator, sexual predator. Just documented.
Got it.
So, no. Hell no. Nigga, I don't know. No, 50. Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out 50, man, again, for shouting you out a while back and just saying.
50 with me, the whole G unit. Them niggas been with me for a minute. I screenshotted the number out of my contacts and posted. If you see the screenshot, you see Billy Gang Cushington's name in the contact. You see Corey Gamble's name in the contact. You see you see some names.
Yeah, not for real.
Yeah, no, nigga. Yeah, I'm well connected and respected.
What should have what Ja Rule should have did on that plane? What should have happened on that plane? On the plane? You go to federal.
No, you don't.
Well, you get banned. You get banned, right?
So what? You get banned off one airline. Just one airline.
Shit.
But the money you make on the back end.
Hey.
If nothing else, swung at one of them.
Hey.
Man, you know how nigga post at least, what's up, nigga? You know how do make it like they want to fight.
Come on.
But really, yeah, them niggas in dead. They did. Them was old.
Heard it through a pillow.
Man, them was old. Nigga, them old. Them the grandpas up there fighting. Nigga supposed to swung a punch to make it. I'm the still.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Y'all got beef that long. Y'all running to each other, and nigga ain't nobody knucking it up. Yeah. At least act like you want to do it.
Yeah.
So, Mr. White.
Yes, sir.
So, do you believe that your willingness to speak your mind has influenced?
Blow my nose right quick, nigga. I've been traveling through several states.
Okay, take your time. Do you think that your willingness to speak out, to speak your mind openly without worrying about the political correctness has influenced today's culture?
No. Your influence on a culture is not immediate. That's a trend. My influence will be on the next culture. Not this one. The next, not this one. I'm still a villain to this culture. This culture still sees me as a detriment to them rather than a tool of empowerment or a voice of reasoning. So, hell no. Nigga, I ain't got no impact on this culture.
In 7 years, not once have we done a full-size SUV. So what better way to do our first?
Oh, wait, hold on. See, you said there's some old niggas.
Yeah,
me and Gangsta were having a conversation of what is considered old. Wood Harris went on Nick Cannon's podcast and said anybody that calls himself old is no longer young.
They ain't. You ain't young if you old. Whether you call yourself that or not. Once you get past,
that's what this nigga's.
Once you get past 40, you old nigga.
Oh damn, that's what this is. Yeah. So on the 39th birthday,
nigga, at 38, you're old. Oh. At 37, you unk. At 35, you still a young snapper, whippersnapper. Nigga, once you get 36, 37, you unk. Look out, school. At 40, you're not young by nature and you're not young by science. That's why the black man can't grow up. He don't want to get old. He done let these rap into making them Peter Pans and want to stay young forever. Nigga, don't you know it's grace in getting old? Don't you know it's wisdom there? No, life lessons. No, who don't want to get old, homie? But the young that don't know what to do when he old because he can't see past today. Nobody's giving him a future. Young men have dreams. Old men have visions. So if I'm not dreaming, I'm not dreaming about a vacation life. I'm not dreaming about being old on a yacht, nigga family. What you mean?
Come on.
But let me just put this on you. At the age of 30, 35, what makes you young, you start to lose. Your testosterone levels. Mm-hmm. Your testosterone levels at 35, they start rapidly declining. So at 35, young, this would make you old. You don't work out. You eat horribly, bad eating habits, sleeping habits. You don't rest. You don't drink water. You don't do skincare. You don't do none of the things to make, nigga. So, and then your drug use, your lifestyle. No. Brings the black bags under your eyes, the rings around your faces. You niggas smoke cigarettes at 20. You can smoke blacks. That's what make them lines in your face right here. That's what started nigga the cigarettes. Yeah. Is what the tobacco, the weed. So how the fuck you nigga think you still young? No, nigga.
Can't go back, Bob.
No.
All right, debate closed. Shit.
Yeah, no. But if you understood your body, you would know. There's things you begin to lose.
Okay, this is a full, I think it's like a 2-hour interview with Charleston White. Obviously, for copyright reasons, we don't want to go through their whole interview. Definitely go support. I believe it's Terrence Gangster Williams, the original Hot Boy. That's the channel that actually posted this interview. It's like 2 hours. You guys can watch the rest of the interview. I did want to just showcase that clip specifically to make the bigger point about, how we disagree in public and whether or not we're setting the right examples for future generations in terms of how we should be handling problems. Now, we're in an age where people, when they have disagreements, they'll literally kill each other on a live. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. Hopefully we could, learn to set some new examples. Charleston White weighed in. He does say some crazy things sometimes that, most people be like, whoa, where's that coming from? But at the same time, the guy also said some pretty, thoughtful, insightful things as well. So, you take the good and the bad, you how my pastor say, you eat the meat and spit out the bones, essentially. So, again, I thank you guys for joining me for this little segment. I did want to have that conversation just to challenge us to communicate differently, maybe even to argue differently with each other, and not to publicize every conversation, not to, demonize each other and attack each other in the manners that we do. I think as a whole, it leaves a negative impression of our community with other people. So that's my take on it. I pray for all these brothers, man. I pray they figure out a way to, settle their differences, and they tone down the rhetoric and all the talk, and, that they can find peace with each other. That being said, I thank you guys for joining me for this segment. I ask that you like and subscribe to the Intercourse Show if you're not already connected. The Intercourse Show, I think a lot of people has a misconception about it because the name is somewhat provocative, but to intercourse actually means conversation. We like to have different conversations about a wide range of topics, ranging from politics to business to religion to relationship and also current events, which is why I'm responding to this video. But I encourage you guys to stay connected, also to weigh in on the conversations. If you have some thoughts or if you disagree, feel free to leave a comment and let your voice be heard. I thank you guys for joining me, and as always, peace and blessings until we talk again. God bless.